What's up? Yo, I had decent weekend, right? I'm trying to do some work, some part-time work. Yeah. Uh, Door dashing, walking. You gotta give me props, right? Um, cause in this dream, right, that they like are trying to control. They're trying to control the whole narrative, everything. Um, everything. They're using technology for the worse, right? It you know so yesterday I did some little bit of DoorDash by walking, honey, because you know what, when you gotta hustle, right? Let me tell you something. On the weekend, these people want to enjoy their weekend. I go out, I gotta send some packages, right, to eBay. So thanks to the universe, right? um but you know what, we in this dream, right? And people don't know that this is like basically hell, honey. We're like, because they made it hell. They taking hell a bit too seriously. You know what I'm saying? Don't take hell too seriously. Go with the flow. Leave people alone. Leave people in peace. um these people don't work on the weekdays. These agents, they don't work on the weekdays. So when I went to SSI, right? I went to SSI, and then I got out of the office at SSI, and I'm downtown, right? And there was a graduation, right? There was too many people to, when I was walking, I noticed something. I'm like, interesting. Nobody like knows who I am, right? Because I'm looking around, I'm like, oh fuck, there's this huge crowd, and it's downtown, right? And there was like this huge graduation. I walked past people, like I could tell. I was like, oh shit, okay, they don't see me. You know how, you know, you could be in a big crowd or whatever, like, and people would notice you and stuff like that. This is something they couldn't control, right? So, and plus it was a graduation. I noticed nobody was really following me. They were doing their own thing. But I did notice on the corner of each street, there was a fucking agent. Like a fucking alphabet soup motherfucker, these networks and organizations. I did see them on the corner with their little book bags and their little phones, and I saw them looking at me. You see, I saw them looking at me because they couldn't control, like, they're not going to tell everybody at graduation, oh, there's this girl, there was families everywhere, there was people everywhere, but people weren't paying attention to me, right? But I did notice when I was walking, I was like looking for a train, I did see agents on like every corner. So it's a lot of these agents that are, fucking around in this dream, in this matrix, that they just taking it way too seriously. So the problem is not like really humanity, is these agencies, this technology, these alerts. These alerts are very dangerous, honey, because you don't know. You see, they're giving out alerts to people, right? And they don't know if you're from the heavens. I'm from the heavens, right? You don't know who you're messing with. You don't know. You don't want to play that game. You don't want to be following people because you don't know who those people are. You have no idea just by what you get in an alert and a picture, right? You don't know who. And there's a lot of us, right? It's everybody. Everybody is getting fucked with right now. Everybody. And it's like getting, by the years, it's just getting like worse and worse. Like, whether you call it monitoring spirits, fucking NPCs. Listen, I noticed a lot of things, right? When you're very spontaneous and stuff like that, it's harder for them to control, right? If you have your schedule planned out, right? If you have a schedule planned out, it's harder for them. You understand? They're trying to control the narrative each and every day. Basically, they're taking hell, this digital matrix that's coded. It's not even real. It's a dream we're in. And in this dream that everybody's in and suffering and like fucking struggling for money and like, because it's a struggle, because they want to make your life a hell. They want to make your life, but that's their reality. But it's these agents, and I saw them at the corner. I'm like, oh, here we go, here we go, because I'm very good with energy. I could feel energy, and I'm like, I'm looking at the people at the graduation. They're doing their own thing. They weren't paying. Like, I literally saw this girl like eating something. She was like, in her own little world, right? And usually, how they have their little tactics and stuff like that, and they have like the little anything, just any fucking, how these NPCs are with their little scripts. These people were like in their own zone, and I'm like, then I see agents at the corner on their phones, like, and I saw this one agent that was making eye contact. Like, I saw him, I'm like, oh, here it goes, here it goes. So it's these organizations, these networks is the biggest problem on this planet, and they causing a like an unbalanced planet. So in order to save this planet, we got to remove them from the world. You feel me? Because it's too much. They're like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, y'all like your hell so much, so, I don't know. But here's the thing, that they're taking this hell way too serious. This is the fucking Matrix. They take it way too serious. And it's not just me, though. It's not just me. There's a lot of people with my bloodline, with that ancient bloodline, right? And you are gods and goddesses. You are gods and goddesses. And that's what they're messing with. People that are co-creators of reality. That's what they're scared of. So, of course, they're going to fuck with you. Of course, they're going to be at every corner. They're going to, hijack your simulation, your dream. They're going to, they're going to hijack it. You know what I'm saying? But, I'm really waiting for this reality to change. The sun is changing. The sun is different. It's not the fake sun. It's different. It's just, I hope, in this dream, in this reality, that it's just like, wake up and superpowers. You know what I'm saying? I did also have another dream with some ET contact. There was like a whole bunch of ships in my area, in my neighborhood. There was like thousands of different extraterrestrials. And they don't like this whole government and Congress stuff. They don't like them. They don't like them. Like, they're very impatient, these extraterrestrials. And trust me, they're not fucking around with these people. So, because they're disrupting, the universe. There's a cause and effect to every reality. You understand? But these agents, these networks and these organizations, they got all this technology. They need to go. That's why the world needs to be cleansed. They could take their people, but there has to be a split, because they want to keep you down. Today, right? I was working yesterday, I'm working out too while working, and people were enjoying their weekend. It was like fucking Pride or whatever. There was a whole bunch of things, right? I noticed the energy. People weren't paying attention to me, which is good. You could feel that energy. I'm like, all right, because the city is very big. You know what I'm saying? So you can't control everybody with alerts. And I noticed that. But today, I went to the post office, dropped off some mail, had my eBay. These people, they don't work. They don't work. This is all about you or me, Their life is basically like they're only living for you. Let me repeat that. They're only living for you. But the technology is in the wrong hands. You see, you got a whole bunch of fucking people with this technology doing all this extra stuff. I come from the heavens. That's where I come from. And, where, this is just a dream. I had to come back to this hell to volunteer so I could do stuff right and get the fuck out. You feel me? We didn't do this for no reason. Come on now. A lot of us here are for a divine reason, but we come into this world not This is an experience. That was the whole point of Earth, was to experience this Earth, right? To volunteer. You have your soul contract, a universal contract. Listen, it's a very sacred contract that before you even came to this planet, that you have your whole destiny, your whole mission written out. So of course, if it wasn't like that, why would you have people fucking with you? It's because you already won. I won already. I won. You can't stop destiny. You can't stop a prophecy. You can't stop fate. There's going to be people in this world that are connected with ancient bloodlines that are very, divine beings, star seeds, whatever you want to call them, earth angels, cosmic beings. We're here. But you can't. I'm telling you. And that's your whole purpose in this dream. And y'all taking this dream a bit too serious. Y'all taking this little, third dimensional reality a bit serious. This is a digital hell, unfortunately. And some people got to come to this digital hell to fix stuff. You feel me? We have a mission. It's all cute now. You following people, you following people, getting alerts. But I'm going to tell you, don't be surprised when you get left behind, because this reality is changing already. This reality is changing. Don't be like, because a lot of people, I've seen it in different worlds where a lot of people are getting left behind. These agents, their whole world, because they gotta go. These extraterrestrials are very impatient right now. And I had a dream with these extraterrestrials, and they met with Congress, and they weren't having it. It was like different councils in the universe, and they were like, you're fucking up our fucking world. You see, you're fucking up our world. There's a big, you're messing with people's peace and harmony, and it's affecting everything. It has a cause and effect. You're fucking with divine time and flow of the universe. We can't allow that. So of course we're going to have to destroy your world. And they did that. In another reality. And it was like Congress. In this reality here, there was all these ships. And this was like lucid dreaming. All these ships are already here, but we can't see them. They're cloaked right now. But their whole purpose, they're going to get rid of these agents. They're going to get rid of all these people. And some of them, they're going to have their karmas here, because how this universe works is, how you treat others, what you're doing, what you're providing to this earth. You understand? It's high levels of karma. You see, I went to SSI. People don't even have disabilities. I'm over here. I have epilepsy and stuff like that. And people are getting, just to go to an SSI office, they're getting paid just to be there. You see, this world is like, and also, how can I say, it's like, we're stuck in survival mode all the time. It's always something. Survival mode. A lot of us targets don't got money. Like, I had to spend $20 yesterday on my fucking medication. They knew. Usually I have Medicaid, but I had to pay $20 just because they wanted to fuck with me. But I'm like, okay. Sometimes you gotta let these people keep fucking with you, because at the end it's gonna be worth it. You understand? It's gonna be worth it. All these people that are following you, playing the game, it's gonna be worth it. They think they're going somewhere. But nobody is gonna save you but you. That's why everybody, that follows you, why are they following me? Why are they doing this in this dream? It's because you're a god or goddess. You're carrying, you're a leader. You're somebody, obviously. But this world is so stuck on survival mode. I see a lot of people also in the United States, right? Living in their cars, being homeless, even it's even worse for targeted individuals that are homeless. I'm gonna tell you that, because you got to worry about people fucking harassing you. On top of that, no money, where are you gonna sleep? But there's a lot of people here that are struggling already. struggling. And these agents out here are just, you know, they're not working. These agents, you know, they're not working. I didn't see them this weekend. They were having fun this weekend. On the weekday, they come. So I want to know, you know, how these people are getting paid. Because they're not doing anything. You see, I'm fucking out here door dashing. I walk fucking a mile just for $9, $5, because I have to. I gotta feed my, you know, I have my dogs. I gotta, you know, because I don't have that much help. You know, I could, you know, and it's also healthy for me to go outside and walk. I'm gonna make a part 2.